Welcome to part 2 of Come Do a Basic Hive Inspection with me. And now, because we broke the seal between all the frames, we can just use our fingers to pull them out. So on this frame here, we have some really nice honey store up around the top on both sides. And I just heard a little piping sound which sounded like the queen. Okay, the queen in the hive is marked, so we should be able to see her clearly today. However, these are very hygienic bees and they have been known to clean the mark off a queen. Okay, I'm not sure if you can see into those cells, but you might be able to see a little white grub in some of them. That's our larvae. So we definitely have great numbers of bees, definitely ready for another box. We're going to pull the rest of the frames. We're going to look for the queen. I did hear her piping, so I know she's in there. I know this female flat cap worker brood can only be laid by queen, so I don't really have to see her now. But I'm going to pull all the frames, just check for queen cells and any more sign of pest and disease. Once again, really nice frame of worker brood, larvae, pupae and eggs. A good amount of drones. So a sign of a healthy hive is to have some sort of drone population. A lot of people knock all the drone cells off, and I don't think that's a great idea to have no drones at all. Another full frame of brood, larvae and eggs. Just having a quick look for our queenie. It's always lovely to see them. And this hive's pretty jam-packed, and if we didn't put another box on soon, there is a good possibility that they could swarm. This frame I suspect is going to be really heavy. I might need my tool for this one. I might get it in under here. There we go, just so I can get my fingers up underneath. Oh, need a tool here. Okay. Alright. So what we have is really good honey store up around the top, and this is our frame that has some drone brood, and we'll show you what that looks like. Just looking for the queen quickly. Have a look on top. Don't see her. Okay, so you'll notice the difference. Our drone brood has convex cappings, big bubbly shaped cappings. Bigger cells capable of containing a drone larvae on both sides. And this frame, I would say next season, probably won't hurt to be swapped out. It's a bit wonky in the middle, maybe that bit cut out maybe. Something to consider for the future. And we're coming up to our last couple of frames. These are new ones that I put in. Beautiful frame of honey with some brood. So let's have a quick look for the queen. Don't see her on there. Shake them off on top of the hive. So as you can see, beautiful honey up around the top. Nice brood in the middle. Same with that side. Now our queen could have been on these frames when we first started, and as we're getting closer, she's got down on the floor and ran across the floor back up on the frames that we already inspected. So once again, oh, there she is. There's old Queenie. She's on a frame of honey. I'm not sure if you can see up there our queen with the pink dot. There she is. Right there. And a beautiful frame of honey at that. So what we're going to do is we're going to be gentle with this one. I'm just going to put it in. We're gentle with all of them, but particularly this one. Lovely. Well, really nice honey frame, that last one. Almost ready to be taken. A lot of bees down that side, so we'll just give a bit of a smoke. We'll just gently slide the frame over. And with our other frames, we can just slide them across as well. Just making sure we keep the gap even. So that's a gap between each frame. I don't know, having a guess, a few millimeters between each frame. There are some special little things you can do to special little tools you can buy that can give you this measurement nice and accurately. I don't, I just take a bit of an eyeball, and with our first initial frame we're just going to gently lower that in. Down. Excellent. Okay, so that's all our frames in place. Now we want to put our queen excluder on top, and we also want to put our honey super. Now most flow hive owners put their flow box on with our flow frames. However, what I suggest to a lot of flow hive owners is first of all, I mentioned that you're not necessarily going to get honey the very first season. Okay, sometimes you can if you have a good season. But what I suggest to most flow hive owners is that we set the bees up for winter. And the way I like to do it is we add an ideal box. This is a half-size box. There's little half-size frames. And if the bees can draw this out with honey, okay, we leave that for the bees. We can take it in early spring. And then what we'll do, later on, we'll take this box off, we'll put the flow hive honey super on, and we'll put this up on top. Now this will cause all the bees to come up through the flow hive flow frames into our ideal box to get to their honey store. And along the way, they deposit their nectar in our flow box. When it comes to winter, rather than have this big, deep box on, a lot of airspace, and especially if it hasn't got much honey in it, the bees have to keep that warm. Rather than keep all that warm, in winter we take our big flow box off the top and we leave this one on with the lid, and our bees are nice and happy throughout winter, and less airspace as well to keep warm. Hope that makes sense. Okay, so from here we want to get our bees down. We've got a lot building up around the sides here. So one thing you could do is get your smoker ready, and we can sweep the bees just gently up and roll them in. Bit of smoke, make them go down. Same with up on the sides. You don't have to do this, they will find the entrance later on. But I like to get them all in there if I can, or as many as possible. And we want to put our queen excluder on. Okay, a little bit more smoke. Just getting the bees out of the way. Placing our ideal box on. Now when I'm lowering boxes, I like to just shimmy it side to side. And hopefully that gives the bees time to get out of the way. Meaning we squash less of them. Whilst I'm here, I'm just going to make sure the gap is nice and even, and then we're going to put our lid up on top. Okay, so there you have it. We have our beautiful brood chamber that's full of very healthy bees, and we've also put our ideal box on, the blue box, and that will fill up with honey, and we'll leave that for the bees. We can take that honey in early spring, but let's leave it for the bees. That's their winter store. Once that blue box is filled, we'll take that one off, we'll put the honey super on with the flow frames, and we'll put this blue box up on top of that honey super, making the bees go up through the flow box to get to their honey, and along the way deposit some store in our flow box. Now there's a fair few bees on the ground. That's okay, you can see they're making their way. They'll walk up these legs and they'll make their way back into the hive. We also established we have really good numbers of female worker bees, really good numbers of male bees as well. We have worker brood, we have drone brood. We found one hive beetle, no wax moth, and no sign of varroa mite. So the hive is doing really well.
Remember, if you like this video, please give us a like, and if you want to see more, hit subscribe.